What? Has watched only basic anime, but says they are a weeb.
Has watched basic anime.
Has only watched basic anime and says they're a weeb.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
I didn't know I have to think about it. I mean, there's only one answer, right?
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Red.
I put green.
We all disagree.
Yes.
Bro, I don't give a fuck.
This just shows our personalities.
Joey's like, anime mentioned, red flag.
I think
red
there are
flag.
a lot of very popular, quote unquote, basic anime out there where you could actually be a weeb now and have only watched like the well-known shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can be into the anime aesthetic and everything that like about anime without needing to watch Serial Experiments Lane.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's the thing.
Or
This is the insinuation that you use the word meme in weeb in a positive way.
Well, okay, I guess that's also a tough
I mean,
argument.
that's I mean,
opening a can of
referring
worms.
to yourself as a weeb, I guess. I mean, you know, I'm more like focusing on the kind of anime side
That
of
paper
things.
could have just said calls themselves a weeb. It still would have been.
I guess, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
this is kind of not
Yeah.
a very, it's
Yeah.
not a great argument,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
that it's whatever.
Okay, the reason I put green is because I literally have met somebody that's went through this exact scenario
Okay.
to like a
Ludwig
T.
Hassan?
Huh?
Ludwig and Hassan?
No, it's a friend who's not he's not you know, part of the
okay. Oh,
content
yeah,
creator
yeah,
sphere.
okay.
He's not on social media.
Yeah, he's not on social media.
Which is a green flag, by the way.
Basically, they met a person,
Yeah.
and this person
Put him in here.
was one of my close friends, and they're a massive weeb, right?
Okay.
They went up through they went through the phase where they kind of did the anime man thing, where they watched every anime that came out in a season for
Right.
years on end.
That's fucked.
And then they kind of burnt out of anime.
Sure.
And
It's just like me for real.
yeah, they just like you for real. And they burnt out on anime and they just stopped watching anime for a long time.
Yeah.
Kind of went on with life, got a job, and then they met their current partner who was like, actually, I'm a weeb. I've watched My Hero Academia and One Piece, not knowing that there's like a secret level 99 weeb standing right next to them. And, you know, part of the bonding session that they had and part of the reason why, you know, they kind of really got close together was because she got to introduce them to a bunch of anime, not realizing that, you know, they were a really, really
Yes, Connor.
big weeb.
Is One Piece considered normie now?
Yes.
Oh,
it is
100%.
Super normie?
100%
Okay, just making sure,
normie.
Yeah.
making sure.
It is
Okay.
very, very
Yeah.
normie.
So you're a normie if you, that's such a horrible word. If you watch One Piece, just making sure. Okay.
Why do you have
Yeah.
to put so much emphasis on the normie?
Normie.
Yeah, so like the way I interpret this is that okay,
Enthusiastic.
yeah, they're enthusiastic about anime and they've only seen the basic anime, so you have the opportunity to be like,
The dichotomy of man. Right?
you have the opportunity to be like, babe, I can show you the world. I can show you the world, babe. Let me introduce you to
All right.
a whole ton
Joey,
of
you have
shows.
to defend gatekeeping
Okay,
right now.
I will say that is a lovely story, but that is one very rare occurrence, in my opinion, of it just happening to work out, right?
Okay.
Most of the time, right, quote unquote weebs who have only ever watched My Hero and One Piece are not that open to watching the weird shit. They're not.
You don't need to watch the weird shit, Joey.
Well, not
Should
even just
every weeb have watched Evangelion?
why Evangelion specifically?
It's a great barometer for this kind of question.
I think, well, biggest Eva fan and
that
trash
like
taste. What do
anime
you
fans
think?
answer very differently to this question.
I think every
yes.
anime fan should watch Ava,
Yeah.
not just to like.
Can they call themselves an anime fan?
I
if
don't think they
haven't
need
watched
to
Of course they
enjoy
can.
Ava.
Of course they can.
This is going back to the 12-year-old pala thing.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you need.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it
You
that
don't need to
much.
watch.
Yeah.
You don't need to enjoy Ava, but you should watch it. If
Maybe,
you
I'm
like
the
the medium.
12-year-old.
Yeah, like personally as an anime fan, I think every weeb should watch Evangelion just to like have an opinion on it.
Yeah, I
it's
agree,
one of
yeah.
those anime where I'm like, it's such a different experience to everyone who
It's like
watches it.
Breaking Bad of TV fans.
I wouldn't call it that. Like Breaking Bad is like way too critically acclaimed. You know,
Is Evangelion not?
It's very polarizing.
it's
What? I thought
it's
it was very critically acclaimed though.
I think it's critically acclaimed for the people who love the show, but a
critics
lot of
fucking
people
suck.
do not like the show.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's fine. But like, okay, I think for me the reason why it's red is because I think the way that I see and act act around weebs or like talk to weebs is very different considering my background. Okay, because like whenever I think of like a stereotypical weeb, like they don't even have to have watched only the basic shit, right? They could be the most like knowledgeable in anime, but like when they think that they know a lot about like Japan or like they know a lot about like Japanese just because they've watched a couple hundred shows of anime.
Couple hundred?
Yeah, even a couple hundred. That to me is just racist.
Whoa! Joey, where are we going with this?
People who only watch anime, consume anime, even the most basic shit, and just think to themselves like, "Yeah, I know so much about Japan. I know so much about Japanese culture."
Interpolating the definition of weeb as being like probably like I guess a weeb is technically like a Japan.
Yeah, it's a Japanophile. That's what a weeb is in the traditional sense, and that's how I view this question.
That angle,
right?
Yeah.
Like, it would have like, oh my god, if Aki fucking came up to me every day and started going yeah ooh, and then just started doing some like maid noises shit, I would fucking kick her out. Like that shit would be so goddamn annoying, and there wouldn't be any room for talking about, hey babe, have you watched Evangelion? Because I wouldn't fucking even ask that question. Red flag.
I guess if you're Japanese, it's a bit different. I guess I did not take that
the plot twist of us talking about anime and Joey just goes, racism. I was just like, oh my god.
It is.
Okay.
I'm not Japanese, so I can't take that argument.
Yeah, I mean, like as a counter argument, right? I think that like you're taking like I guess the mid-2000s definition of like weeb.
Okay,
I love that nuclear response to it. That was great. This is the kind of content we need to keep this podcast alive.
I somehow have to argue against racism here, but I'm gonna.
But hang on.
But hang on, Joey.
Okay, what is the okay? Admittedly, yes. My definition of weeb is like the fucking yaoi paddle era of weebs, right? What would you say is the 2023 definition of weeb?
Weeb is.
I think like the English language words always change. I think weeb has changed.
Oh,
weeb doesn't mean somebody who's obsessed with Japan anymore.
For me, someone who has watched a lot of anime, this says someone who's only watched basic anime.
Yeah.
If someone's watched a lot of anime, they would never call themselves a weeaboo unironically. Okay. Right? Because they know about the anime culture.
Yeah.
When I
know what that word means.
When I hear the statements, has watched only basic anime but says they are a weeb, that means they are kind of just in the entry-level anime community kind of thing.
That paper should say and says they're a weeb, not but says they're a weeb.
Yeah, I mean...
those kind of go hand in hand.
I mean, I would say if you call yourself a weeb and you've watched any basic anime, you'll just probably heard that as a buzzword somewhere on the internet. And
sure.
You're like, oh, okay, you're just...
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
All right, let's do another take then.
All right. Where do we go from racism?
Dude, I can't wait for the next take, dude.
You're just waiting for my bombastic
I love it, dude. I'm so glad someone else is doing it for once.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I normally come out swinging.
We need to keep this podcast interesting. Yeah. All right, next take. Red flag, green flag, or beige flag. Hasn't watched any classic movies.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm a really big film guy. You guys know I love watching movies.
I think all three of us love film.
I'm a big film guy as well.
We've all seen a lot of movies. So I think mine is pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Mine's straightforward as well.
I just saw your answer going, what the fuck?
It also depends on how you define classic movies. As well.
Classic movies, Godfather. Okay, classic
IMDb
movies.
top
I'm going
50?
to IMDb top 50.
Okay.
All right.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. I said none.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's anything. I think it's whatever.
Green?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Hold on, you're going to have to...
You think it's good that they haven't watched the...
Yes.
It's a great trait to have.
I think it's a fucking great trait just because you get to... Like it's very similar to the anime thing where you get to show them something and part of...
You're assuming that they're already... down to watch them.
Yeah. What if they're not down to watch
what if they don't want to watch them?
I mean,
if the movie looks old, gone.
Yeah, what if the reason why they haven't watched these classic movies is because years ago they looked at the IMDb top 50 and they're like, they look old and boring.
I mean, that was not said on the piece of paper. To me,
okay.
if someone
you're assuming that they want to watch them. And they'll watch them with you.
Yeah, Garner's very optimistic about it.
You're super optimistic about all these prompts.
Okay, I'm super optimistic.
Like, I can change them. I can fix them.
I'm super optimistic because I just love like not even like with your partner, but like with any friends or family that I have plenty of family members who, have not watched X thing or have not experienced X thing. And part of that, especially if it's a partner, I like, to me, it's a green flag because I assume if we're partners, right, that's part of being a partner is that even if you're not necessarily interested in a topic that you're, that before you met your partner, that you want to explore it with them. Like for me, I do not give a shit about horror movies, for example, but I still will sit down with Sydney and watch some horror movies, and I'm happy just seeing the stuff that she's passionate about, even though I'm never going to be as passionate about it.
Right, but again, you're looking at this like, fictional relationship that you have with this partner as a very optimistic thing of like, they're just kind of down for everything. And the only reason they haven't watched these classic movies is because they've just never given the opportunity.
Well, why are you being pessimistic, Joey? What's wrong with being a little bit optimistic about assuming the best of intention, Joey?
Because life's a bitch, man. It doesn't work out that way. It's not all candy and rainbow. Sometimes there are people who are just so up in their own head where they look at these like movies like Godfather, like Apocalypse Now, like Goodfellas, and they're just like, oh, it's old and it was made before my time. Not interested. I don't care. I'd rather watch the next fucking Avengers movie.
I watched the FNAF film.
I'd rather watch the FNAF film.
To me, if the paper said that they've watched a bunch of classic films and they do not care for them, that would be like a different answer for me.
What would that be for you? Red flag?
For me, that would be more beige, none.
Put that one.
Like, to me, that doesn't signify a relationship, but to me, if I know someone has not seen the same things that I'm interested in, I see that as an opportunity to be like, oh, okay, we can possibly bond together, or I can show you stuff that I'm passionate about and I'm interested in, and we don't necessarily need to enjoy the same things to have a good working relationship. So, because
you could reframe this with anything, like they haven't read the classic books, they haven't watched the K-drama series, the classics.
Well, that's why why I said none though in this case, because it's like it can really go both ways, and if you kind of average that all out, it does become a none flag.
Yeah, I think it's whatever. Like I think there's a reason why you haven't consumed that media. And
there's lots of people out there. It's fine.
I just like to see the good in people. I like to assume the best guys.
You're like, it's like it's great because then I can share it with them again.
That is great.
All right, pick one. All
right.
Sorry, ladies, Gaunt's taken.
All right.
Is Gaunt just gonna write green for everything? All right, what's the next one, Gaunt?
Doesn't watch a show if it's popular.
Okay.
All right.
Why are you guys laughing?
No reason.
No reason, Joey.
All right. I got mine.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Beige.
I mean,
I think it's a bad trait to have, some might say.
I mean, if you're just judging things based on its popularity, then like you're not coming into this with a open mind. You're coming in this with preconceived.
You're just hater. You're a hater.
Yeah, you're just a hater.
You know what?
And you think you have better taste and more superior
Explain,
taste.
Mr. Beige.
I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone, but if I was someone like that,
you'd think of it as an oddity?
I think it's just a bit weird. And there's,
I think it's a red flag.
I think it's just a bit weird.
What if, we were dating Joey and I was super happy to watch this new show called Arcane with you.
Yeah.
And I was telling you about how I was super excited for it.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, we're not watching it.
No. I'll watch it like 5 years later.
No. Okay, well, we're getting there. Do you promise to watch Arcane in 3 years?
No.
Wait, you just said you'll watch it 5 years later.
No, just some amount of years later.
That's my red flag.
Yeah.
That's my red flag.
Dude, I'm currently watching fucking Stranger Things because I'm finally getting around to finishing it, and it's great.
All right. I'll pick.
All right.
Well, I know Felix has my back. I'm not the only one.
I'll say that to Felix as well, Joey. It's okay.